Watch the real-life program about exceptional destinies, remarkable opportunities, and unbelievable facts right now.
A famous stuntman bungee jumps, pulls cars tied with a rope to his neck. He can tear things apart, but had only got into a real fight only once. He likes driving in the mountains on his motorbike, but is afraid of flying in airplanes. In China, I bungee jumped 20 times. I jumped with one leg tied, did 5 flips. I always need an adrenaline rush. Rafael Mirgalimov gets his adrenaline rush from the audience's delight. A set of extreme habits for a man of steel. Bending a horseshoe for good luck. Hooked on adrenaline. It can hit you in the eyes, so I keep my eyes shut. Here's a piece of advice from Rafael. If you want to repeat this trick, you need to be very careful. The hot water bottle can hit your face and ears, and certainly you need to keep your eyes closed. Rafael doesn't talk about himself much. This is how he recalls his younger times.
Так получилось, что улица все-таки меня затащила в свои объятия.
It so happened that part of my education came from the streets. I've tried smoking and drinking, well, basically nothing else. But then it hit me. I realized I didn't like what I was doing. It felt as if someone from above was pulling me off the streets.
Что-то такое, прям я не знаю. Как будто кто-то мне помог выйти с этой компании.
However, the bad boy character is not dead, but now he plays bad boys on stage, only for the public eye. Adrenaline is a hormone that is produced during excitement or fear. Its effect on the body exceeds 5 minutes. Every human being has an individual adrenaline state. Surprisingly, 30% of people are hooked on adrenaline. The overabundance of adrenaline exhausts the body, providing it with high blood pressure and stomach pains. But the lack of adrenaline releases and triggers depression. In other words, not having a blood rush for a prolonged time can be harmful for the health. Rafael says he's a peaceful man. He got into a real fight only once, but he can bend nails just for fun to entertain good old friends. Well, it's heart-shaped now. By joining the nails in 1 or 2 knots, Rafael can distinguish Chinese nails from their Russian analogues. Nails produced in China are much more bendable, the stuntman says. Many believe that you have to lift heavy things to be strong, but the real agility comes from the joints. That is where the strength lies. This is how sticks can be broken. Acrobats do not recommend eating right after conducting a stunt. For a trained person, a spectacular stunt is fairly simple to perform, but it is always dangerous for the unprepared.
Берете, крепко зажимаете.
Take this way, grab firmly and tear just like this.
И вот так просто раз.
And when it's torn, all the spectators just go, wow. But in fact, it's not so difficult. I have a lot more complex performances and stunts.
Тот же, например, прут в горло или прут об голову. Но прут об горло, конечно, смотрится хорошо.
Human bones are stronger than steel. A cubic meter of human bone can withstand 10,000 kilogram weight, which is equal to the weight of 5 standard pickup trucks. But checking this fact in practice is not very recommended. The show is in the Western style. Rafael is a cowboy and a chief bandit. With this role, Rafael traveled to China, where he was welcomed warmly.
Это такой народ, который не понимает жестов.
China has a different gestural system. They do not understand our gestures. Can you imagine you show them something? They do not get it.
Чемодан. Ты думаешь, как им объяснить?
Rafael says that his first Chinese teacher became his friend. He knew a few words in English. The two found ways of understanding each other. If the word was strange and the letters were incomprehensible, I wrote them on the pieces of paper in English and Russian. And so I had the whole wall filled with stickers. I used to wake up, look at them, and try to memorize them. A month later, I was able to bargain in markets and stores. The most difficult is to break the glossy calendar. 900 pages of glossy paper. Rafael learned to tear catalogs before he went to school. When he was 25 years old, he enrolled in a university in China and learned the Chinese language. He believes the Chinese to be friendly, hardy, and industrious people. I so eagerly went to university. I was only 25. I was surrounded by 16-year-olds. And at first, Rafael thought that he would never be able to speak Chinese. Then once he had a breaking point. He fell from a mountain bike and broke his foot. So on Saturday we had a show, but the medics had put my foot in plaster. What was I to do? I needed to go on stage. I cut the plaster, took the ruler, cut it in half, taped it to my broken leg, put on my shoes, and went on stage. During the performance, I didn't even limp. I took off the ruler after the show and put the plaster back on. Rafael is not superstitious. He believes in himself and his skills. His only charm is his ponytail, which he grew back in China. He thinks that it brings him good luck. This is the second one. Rafael gave away the first to his girlfriend. I think God gave me the ability to control my body. I can feel every cell in my body. Rafael spent 5 years of his life in China and achieved great success, not only on stage. I had a Chinese girlfriend. We went out for a year. She said that I was fluent in Chinese and that I could even try to participate in a competition for non-native speakers of Chinese. But Rafael suddenly felt homesick, so he returned to his hometown Almaty. He then joined the Almaty circus, where he's worked for 13 years. With this number, he and his partner won the silver medal at the Echo of Asia International Festival. My partner jumped on my legs, and I joggled him in a different way, so they call it in the circus, trenka. Icarian games is one of the oldest forms of circus arts. Lying on their back, the artists rotate their partners with their legs. Rafael's trademark number is pulling a car. His personal record is a 7-ton vehicle. He tested his neck for the first time in China. He says the first attempt was unsuccessful. In the Almaty circus, he draws full houses of mesmerized audiences with his performance. I just know that there are people, there is the adrenaline. This gives me more strength and everything works out. Rafael also has a famous number with horses. In his collection, there are several dozen stunts of varying complexity. Free falling from a height, getting caught in fire, fighting with swords. As a stuntman and actor, he played a cameo role in The Vikings as part of the Nomad stunt group. It was so exciting. My first appearance in film, and it was a good role in an episode. Then there was another movie called Afghanistan. Rafael is confident that every person has a set of habits, good and bad. He now teaches himself to get up at 5:30 in the morning. He says he will get used to that in the next 21 days. The acrobat learned to do somersaults when he was 18 years old. He was told that it was a late start and that he wouldn't achieve much in acrobatics. But he strived and succeeded. Rafael is a lifelong learner. Veni, vidi, vici is his motto. In the future, Rafael wants to settle in a place with a warm climate, but for now, he's full of plans and willingness to create new performances.